Well, what does the recent economic turmoil mean for our region's housing market? One figure called home sale contingencies points to increasing uneasiness. Now, joining us to talk about it all is Eldad Moraru of Long & Foster. So, first of all, we want to know what exactly is a home sale contingency?
Okay, so a home sale contingency is essentially where a purchaser makes an offer on a home that is contingent on the sale of their current home. So essentially it means that if they are able to successfully sell their home, they'll move forward with that deal. If they are unable to sell their home, then they will continue. They'll move on.
Okay, makes sense. So how often do you see this normally, and how much has it ramped up recently amid all the chaos that's been going on?
Right. So normally that is a contingency that few sellers are willing to accept. However, with many more sellers having been sitting on the market for a while now, more and more sellers are opening up to that contingency and accepting contracts with that contingency than ever before.
So it's basically sellers that have pretty much exhausted all their other possibilities, and now they're willing to kind of take this slight inconvenience, you know, the uncertainty that comes along with it, and they're willing to accept that in exchange for hopefully getting their house sold?
Correct.
So if this trend progresses, you would think it would make the sale process a lot more difficult, right? Because there's a lot more balls in the air, a lot more people who could back out instead of just, one party. There are two parties, maybe more involved.
Right. So I actually had a seller client. This was a great quote. He said to me the other day, he said, Eldad, there's only one thing more difficult than selling one home, and that is selling two homes.
Right, yeah.
And when you accept that kind of contingency, that's what you're doing. So it's very important as a seller with your agent to do the due diligence and make sure that the terms the buyer is putting their house on the market are realistic.
Yeah.
So, price accordingly and all that good stuff.
And it seems like everybody who's in the market now has to be an expert with just how complicated things have become and all these things that we have to get up to speed on, like contingency sales. So if the seller says yes to a contingency sale, what are some of the rules that they should be aware of, and is there any turning back for them?
Right. So you are locked in to a certain extent. What happens is during the contingency period, if you do get another offer, you can present that offer to the buyers, and they have a certain period of time that's pre-negotiated to remove the contingency. If they do, you are obligated to sell the house to those buyers. So even if you get an offer that's better, higher, whatever, you can't just kick them out and take this other offer. Now, on the other hand, if the buyers are unable to remove the contingency, they haven't gotten a contract yet, they don't have financing that allows them to do so, you can kick them out and accept the other offer.
Right. And if the contingent home doesn't sell, house A, the guy's trying to sell house A to get house B. If house A doesn't sell, then contract unravels.
Correct. So all these deals are making it, the process a lot more complicated. But on the other hand, a lot more houses will now go under contract. So in some ways, the inventory will get absorbed, which is actually a good thing.
Absolutely. Eldad Moraru of Long & Foster. As always, you can find more at WTOP.com.